Hey y'all, it is Hope at Crafty Hope, and I'm working on another art journal thing. This is again part of my 100-day project, and I am using one of those like stamp and cut or die cut and stamp sets. I've only got a couple of them, but I never use them. So for the 100-day project, I am making myself use one. Now this set, I think it's from Stampendous, if I'm not wrong, and I think it has like a Dias de los Muertos theme, but it has these fun like roses in them. So I decided I wanted to use those. And to color them, I'm using a variety of like 6 different pinks and like purpley magenta inks. Some are Amsterdam, some's Dynaflow, some's Liquitex. I think I even have a Lindy spray or Dilutions actually spray in there to color these. And then I'm gonna water them down, and I'm just using a little palette. This is from the Dollar Tree. Um, and I'm adding just a little bit of water to them to water it down and kind of do it like watercolors. So I've got a fairly thin brush, and I start off being a little meticulous in coloring this. Now I didn't treat this with anything, and I just stamped and cut those on cardstocks. There's nothing fancy about any of it. But this first one, I kind of am a little meticulous going in the lines that are on there. But the second one and the ones after that, I'm really just kind of um, splooshing that ink down on there. See, this one, I don't know. I took forever. I didn't end up liking this one a whole lot. Yeah, and I sped this up quite a bit because it is, and I cut out the last couple of them, but I'm going to show you the second one that I did so you can see how I don't know, less meticulous. Y'all, this is 3 times speed, and I'm still like lazing about how to do this. So you'll see this one here, I'm not super keen on how splotchy that one looks. I'll go back over it later, I believe. I don't know that I even show y'all how I went over it. But the second one here, I'm just taking colors and not even caring. I like where the colors are touching. They kind of blend. You can see I'm washing my brush a little bit, or rinsing it. You don't see my water, but I'm rinsing it a little bit between. And that worked out so much better to just kind of go over those like that and let the colors blend a little more naturally. So that's what I did with the rest of them. And then for the leaves, I've got an Amsterdam ink and I think 2 Liquitex greens that I'm kind of just going to do the same thing. I'm going to water them down and then take my little paintbrush and I tried doing like a little bit of the darker of the greens in the center and then kind of blending it out, but they were still so random that I'm going to go back in here in just a minute and just kind of do the same method that I did with the flowers and just kind of just get some color on there, you know, and not be so meticulous about it because these are just not just, but these are my main element for the page I'm going to do here in a minute. And I think it's funny that for 2 pages in a row, I'm using like a pink and a green, and I'm also using my Dilutions journal. I don't know, I think it's kind of weird. I'm also using techniques at the beginning that I end up incorporating into the journal. So I don't know, that seems weird to me, but whatever. That's just, yeah, kind of a weird back-to-back video thing. Alright, so I've got my Uniball Signo white gel pen here that I am just adding some highlights actually on each of the flowers, just giving a little more definition to the flowers. These are just, you know, I know nothing about drawing or actually where those highlights should be. Well, I kind of know a little something that like the higher it is, the more light that's on it or something like that. But I wasn't thinking about light or anything. I was just making sure that there was a little pop of light to each of those flowers. So here's where I go ahead and I've got my journal out. Like I said, this is just a Dilutions journal. And I grab what was a piece of some more of that paper. If you saw my last video, I'll put a link up to it, but I used a big, like a whole page of some of this handwritten paper. It's just notebook paper, and it's an ancestry thing. When other people did your ancestry for you, I found an estate sale where this lady had a bunch of notebooks of other people's ancestry research she had done, And so I picked up some of those notebooks, but just for the handwritten stuff in it. So that's all this is. And so you see I've got another piece of it there. And I'm just using my Uhu glue stick to stick that down because none of this in the background, I just didn't want that blank white dilutions page in the background. I wanted some of that, I don't know, just some interest in the background. So that's all I was doing there, was adding a little bit interest with that. So now I have got those palettes that still have some of that ink in it. And y'all, I just sprayed some more water in it and dripped it on the page. I didn't want any of it to go to waste. So this was my solution, and it kind of worked. And again, I think it's weird that I've got kind of a similar palette to what I used last time, but it works. It's fabulous. So I dripped that and kind of let it spread on its own, let gravity do its thing. And I'm gonna try to get some of the color out of the creases because I don't want that ink seeping through. I end up blotting up quite a bit of it from the page with just a paper towel. And then I'm going to dry it real quick, I think. Yeah, look at me. I knew what I was going to do. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the pink. Now, I did the green first, so it was kind of like the leaves are in the background and then the flowers on the top, even though I just, wanted to not waste all of this amazing color and ink. So, like I said, I did kind of the same thing, and I'm going to spritz that a little and let it spread and drip and be awesome. Yeah, this was probably the smartest thing I did for this page because I don't know, it's fabulous. And so again, I'm going to dry this real quick. And I guess I blotted up some of the excess water and all of that because sometimes it's just so hard to get when you've got that much water and ink on a page to get it all dry. So it's nice to be able to pick up some of it, and then you've got inky pages elsewhere. So then I grabbed my little flowers and I kind of put them on the page and realized almost immediately that they were going to absolutely just blend into the background because I had the same colors on both the flowers and the page. So I grabbed some titanium white from Lucas and put it down, and I could have used gesso or anything else, but I wanted to kind of see how this did because I'm constantly smearing gesso on things, but I wanted to see how the Lucas did in comparison to gesso that I usually use. So I used a palette knife to kind of start putting it down, but I don't know, I wasn't feeling it, so I went ahead and just grabbed a big paintbrush and kind of went over it. No worries, that those colors are still going to peek through in there, but I just needed something to kind of break it up and not make it as strong as the flowers are. So, and I could have kept, you see me, I got frustrated with myself. Stop playing with stuff, Hope. So, for more inky goodness, I grabbed my Liquitex Gold. Y'all, I love that gold. I don't know, I should buy just like 6 of them because it's the best stuff. So I just put a drop or two in my palette, a little spritz of water, watered down a fan brush, and I'm making some splatter. And then I'm going to do a black. And this is, y'all, this is some really old stuff. It's a watercolor ink, I think, that I picked up at a garage sale forever ago. And, but I don't know, it still works. Y'all see it? It's working fine. So I did the same thing. So I've got the black and gold splatter, which I love. And then I'm going to dry that. It took me a little while to dry it because I didn't want to try to smear it in any way. So, and then I start trying to figure out my placement for these 5 flowers. And I had them there in that bottom, but I don't know, they felt more right up there in that top left. So I kind of like put them down and looked at them for a little while, and then I'm just going to take my Uhu glue stick and start sticking them down. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. This page, I don't know, it took me a while because the painting of those flowers was meticulous. But once I actually started doing the journal portion of this and getting everything into my book, it just kind of flew together. I mean, partly because I had all those inks already there to just throw at the page. And y'all, it worked. I really love that messiness that's kind of going on there. yeah, I don't know. It wouldn't normally be my thing, but I'm so glad I just kind of went for it and let the moment take me. That madness came over me. Um, and you see, I'm trying to, I don't know, overthink putting down these flowers. And, well, I was trying to, think about like having some of the leaves facing in some directions and not covering the others up. And you see that I put that one down, and I'm like, yeah, it needs more green on the inside. So I'm going to put that, yeah, like that. So anyway, so I get those down, and because it is cardstock, I kind of held it for a minute and made sure that, yeah, I don't know why I'm futzing with that so much. Crazy. So I'm gonna grab a, oh, what is it? I think it's the Tim Holtz Snippets stickers is what it's called. Oh, first I decided I needed to highlight these. So I am grabbing my handy dandy Stabilo all pencil in black. Y'all, I love these. I just bought a 12 pack of them because I realized I wasn't using my Stabilo as much as I wanted because I was afraid I was going to run out of it. Is that ridiculous or what? So, I went and broke down last week, and it came in yesterday. I'm super excited that I now have a 12 pack of Stabilo Alls to use at will. So be warned, you're likely to see lots more Stabilo use in my journaling and stuff. So I did outline just the outer edges of these die cuts, and or did I? I think I did, yeah. And then I'm just using a wet paintbrush and going around to give them a little more depth and shadow to make sure they're standing out. Because again, I've basically just put them on top of a pile of the same color that they are, so this helps differentiate them from the rest of the page a little bit. When I get done with that, I'm going to pull out, like I said, my snippets stickers, and I find one that just says Beauty and Grace, which um, to me, flowers are beauty and grace. So that seemed perfect. It was the right size for sticking on there. And I'm just going to kind of stick it in there with the flowers. And I'll go around it again also with my Stabilo. And I think that's going to be it for this page, y'all. Yeah. I hope y'all liked my willy-nilliness. I was a little freeing, I think. Like I said, I got a little meticulous with the flowers, but after that, I just went for it, and that's good for me. So I hope you find a way to be good for you in your journal, and make sure to give me a thumbs up if you like this, and subscribe so you can see more from me. And I think that's everything. What's next? I'm gonna try it and add a little more Stabilo. Yeah. Alright guys, like I said, if you like, give me a thumbs up if you like this. Make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and keep on crafting on. Bye.